As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I am back and I brought boots this time, I brought gloves, and I've got my garbage bags here, and I'm going to do a quick cleanup. And I know there's a lot of people that are probably new to this channel, or maybe folks that have never heard this story. So I'm going to tell you guys about the first time I cleaned up, why I did it, how it made me feel as I'm doing this. So forgive the static shot. I have the camera over there on the kayak, and I'm over here. At least I got my sound equipment on so you can hear me without me screaming at you. All right, good. So yeah, first time I cleaned up. I didn't do it to make people think better of me. I didn't do it for myself. I didn't do it because I felt it was the right thing to do. What I did actually was something maybe selfish. I think it could be considered selfish, because I cleaned up, oh God, that's a big disgusting thing. I cleaned up because I was trying to impress somebody. A single person. A person that was, in my mind, a really good fisherman. I'm going to point you that way. He is a good fisherman. His name's Steve, just like the guy yesterday. Different Steve, though. This Steve taught me a lot when I was completely naive, as opposed to now when I'm just partially naive. Imagine how many bobbers I could make out of that. Okay, so yeah, I'd see Steve every once in a while. We'd fish the same spot, and he's teaching me stuff, and I'm really impressed. And one day we come back to the kayak launch, and he starts cleaning up the garbage around the launch site. And I got to tell you, I was a little repulsed, because in my mind, why are you touching other people's trash? What's wrong with you? That's not your job. You shouldn't have to do that. I think I told him that. And his response will stick with me forever. He said, I'm not doing it for anybody but myself. He says, I don't want them being the powers that be, to close this place. What he meant was, there was a little launch on the side of the road, and the city maintained that portion of land, and fishermen, unfortunately, tend to be very dirty and careless. Maybe, you know, it's not their own fault. It was on the side of the road, and I thought maybe stuff is just flying out of the side of out of the back of trucks and stuff. So maybe it's not anybody's particular fault, you know. But you would see stuff like bags of hooks and line and things that clearly belong to fishermen, and there'd be signs of people just wantonly throwing their stuff on the garbage on the ground, you know. Let's see. Should be plenty of room in this enormous live well here, tank well, sorry. Beverage. Hey, there's one bag. I'm going to fill another one before I go. That's a hell of a wake. That's a different video. Okay, one more bag. So yeah, so he said he was doing it for himself because he liked fishing there and he didn't want the city to close that place off, put up a barrier and make it so impenetrable and make it so that people can't launch there. And since that day, I have seen that happen. So if you make a mess, there could be repercussions. And that's one of the reasons I clean up nowadays. But what really struck me, and the reason I did it myself, well, let me go back. Again, I thought Steve was a really good fisherman, right? And I want him to keep teaching me, and I want to be his friend. So at the time, I'm making videos. Oh my gosh. And I thought, you know what? In one of my videos, I'm going to clean up. And he's going to see that and be impressed with me. And he'll want to be my friend as a result, and then I'll learn more from him. So you can see why I thought it was selfish looking back on that. That's a piece of styrofoam. So yeah, I mean, I went out fishing. I come back to the launch. Sure enough, there's garbage everywhere. So I had a bag with me and I started cleaning up. And within a few minutes, I had this launch site that I used all the time, that I cared a lot about. Beautiful, clean, spotless. I mean, within a few minutes. And I couldn't believe how easy it was. And more than that, how good it made me feel. It was pretty surprising. And immediately became apparent that I wasn't doing it for Steve. I was doing it because it made me feel good. Not a lot of things in life are that easy and feel that good. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how surprised I was at how easy it was. And I don't know. I mean, I know that there's people out there that have not had that revelation yet. That's why I'm telling this story. Good grief. Must be a swamp around here. Hear the airboat. Okay. You know, there's so much garbage here, I might have to come back and do this again. Or maybe there's somebody watching this video who knows this spot and will come and give me a helping hand and do some themselves. Or perhaps you don't live anywhere near here and you'll say, you know what, I'm going to try to do that myself and see what he's talking about, because it really is astonishing how good it feels and how easy this is. And if this were a spot where I would like to come to a lot, well, I just made it look nice, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not repulsive to touch other stuff. Most of this is so sun bleached, there's no germs on it. I wear gloves so I don't get cut or anything, you know? Or if a snake jumps out, maybe he won't break the skin, you know, and poison me. Or but I don't know. I was so surprised at that and about how good it felt and how easy it was. And I try to tell the story every once in a while. I've told it to people in person. Cool. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it definitely is an easy way to feel good. And in this time that we're in now, when you're stuck and you need something to do. We all need something to do right now, right? To keep our minds off of the boredom or the financial hardships that we're going through and all this other terrible bad stuff. Staying busy is definitely good. It's good for your mind. It's healthy. And if you can't realistically go to a launch site or an island in the middle of nowhere and do a little cleanup, maybe you can go in the shed and clean that up, or go through your hardware. I've got drawers of nuts and bolts, and over time they get mixed up, and every once in a while I stop and I sort them. I hate doing that. I hate it. But when it's done, I'm like, yes, that feels so good, and it inspires me to build more stuff. And busy hands gets the devil out of my head, you know what I mean? Because that could be, you know, boredom or despair or whatever. So staying busy is extremely important, and cleaning up is an easy thing to do. Anybody can do it. You can do it at home, you can do it outside, and I think it's something that everybody really ought to try for a little while. For, you know, you don't have to do it all day, but it might get your mind off the boredom for a little while. So this, there. All right. Yeah, this actually did not cure the boredom for me enough. So I'm going to venture in there. I'll take you with me, and then I'll close this video out by flying my little DJI Mavic Mini, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. But let's go this way. It's so cool to look around and not see as much trash. Like I said, there's a couple things, but here I am playing a 5-year-old again. Yeah. Man, this place is overgrown. My goodness. I don't want to go too deep because my kayak's sitting over there. Man, look at that. There's still another few bags full of junk laying around here. Let's see what's... Good grief, I thought that was a snake or a lizard. You know what's interesting is that I think a lot of this trash has been here for a very long time. When's the last time you saw a pull top on a Budweiser? Huh? What year do you think that's from? Wow. That's really nuts. You wonder, you know, these things get washed up by hurricanes and high tides and stuff. This place is pretty remote and hard to get to. So I don't think that there's, this is a dead end. I don't think too many people are coming here partying and dropping their garbage. I think it's just, a lot of this is washing up. So I don't want to point a finger and wag my finger at people and say, well, you should clean up after yourself. Oh God. I'm realizing as I'm doing this is going to be a long video. Some of you guys asked for it. You got it. How the hell do I get back there? Okay, let's try this way. Okay. Come on. Oh, I almost lost my glasses. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good grief. I'm going to turn into the, how many, I'm 46 years old right now. 46. For all of you that did not know that, now you know. Hey, there's some bobbers, man. I was looking for those yesterday. Bitch. It's okay. Like I said, there's reason to come back and get some more stuff. Oof. How do I make it in there? Oof. That'd be a tough one to pull out of here, huh? Yeah. Okay, yeah. What was I saying? Some people have been wanting longer videos, so you got it. Comes at a cost of being bored out of your skull, though, probably. I apologize for that. Wow, look at all that dead stuff there. There's no way I can get back up in there. Maybe this way. Whew. Somebody needs to bring a machete back here. Have a fire or something. Whew. Okay. Whew. Watch out for that. Okay. Oof, and that. And that. My goodness. That is a big pointy thing there. see if I can make it back to the high ground. There's a tree back here that I see, that I can see from my place. I can see it from here. Wow. I've been here once before and it wasn't overgrown like this. You're pretty crazy, nature. I'll lop one of those pieces of that cactus off and bring it home. Those are so easy to grow. Look at this. How about that? Whew. Once you get through that mess, man, this really opens up. This is pretty phenomenal. Okay, well, like I said, I'm going to take the drone out, set it up, and fly it. And it'll give you an idea of where I am and how cool this is. And I'll just leave the video while you guys are flying up there. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming with me and listening to me rant and rave, and I hope this kind of helps you guys through these times, cure your boredom a little bit. So, all right, here we go. I'm gonna just lay this on the ground. I'm gonna open this up. I've got my phone, that's good. I need my phone with this thing in order for it to work. Nope, you gotta, come on Marty, you've done this before. I gotta open those legs first, and then the bottom legs. Turn it on. Okay. I'm gonna turn this one on. Good. Attach my phone to the controller. Okay. See how I'm doing that? You just kind of plug your phone in. It's got a little wire. And there it is. It should start the software. There's an app on my phone. And this will take off. It's going to kick up some dust probably, so I'll start it from the top of the box. I can actually hold on to that and have it take off from my hand, which is nice if you're on a kayak, because you can hold it and have it take off. I guess maybe I'll do that. The trick is you got to have your fingers on the controller when you do that. You press and hold a button that says take off. Imagine me on my kayak. And there it is. Let me, there you go. There's the camera. Right here, you see it? There's the camera. That's what you had been seeing, and now you're seeing stuff from here. It's pretty nuts, huh? All right, like I said, I will see you next time. That's pretty neat, huh? Looking straight down. My left forefinger, if I scroll that a little bit, it tilts the camera up. There you go. Now I'm seeing out towards the bay. That's pretty neat. I think that's, yeah, that's home. And this is where I am. See? See? Hi, hi, hi. That's me spinning around so you can see me. Okay. Let's go over to where the kayak is. Let me look down. That's what I just trudged through. And the kayak is over there somewhere. Yep, thank goodness it's still there. All right. And then that's where the fish are not. I checked. There's definitely no fish there. And yeah, when I leave, after I shut this off, I'm gonna go out of there, up and around here, and I'll head back home.